let me tell you all something. Me personally, I love to see a beautiful black family like this. This is an Alkebulan family. Come on now. Blackness comes in all shades. Blackness is diverse. If you have one drop of black, you are black, okay? As long as you have one black parent, you are black. Therefore, these children display the vast phenotypic diversity of the Alkebulan phenotype. You understand that even Miley Cyrus has a black phenotype due to the vast versatility. Do you understand me? Come on now. According to you all, the seed of the father determines the lineage. Therefore, these children are black. Look at this beautiful young black king right here. This is the diversity of the Alkebulan phenotype, live and in action, right? Come on now, like, stick with me, y'all. And according to you all, wait, hold up. Wait, according to you all, these kids are just as black as me and you, and they will go through everything that you and I go through in society, according to you all, right? But I'm sure we can acknowledge that y'all look like some damn fools, right? I'm sure we can acknowledge that because let's be for real. Let's be honest, right? No way are we pretending that these kids are black. No way at all, okay? But you all do it anyway. Y'all do that anyway. So the question becomes, why? Why are you so pressed to pretend some clearly white folks is black? Like, why? I gotta wonder. Now, before we get deeper into this discussion, I'd just like to take a second to point out that Carlton, whatever his real name is, Alphonso, whatever, right? That man is not black American. He is Trinidadian. So I know a lot of y'all was about to come to the conference and be like, oh, black Americans are so self-hating and so and so and so. Yeah, let's nip that in the bud right there, right? But what we will address is that there is a prevailing pretend belief on the internet, at least, because like I said, this doesn't really exist in real life. I've never had anyone in real life accuse me of being African. Like, that's never been a thing. But on the internet, y'all are like in overdrive pretending that black Americans look like this and that somebody who looks like me is not black American and secretly has to be African. And we have to ask ourselves why is that the case, right? Because I don't think, a lot of times stuff doesn't just happen randomly. I think that if you sit there and you think about it, you can figure out like what actually set that into place, right? So I don't think this is just, happenstance, right? I think there's a reason. I definitely think there's a reason behind this, right? Y'all be chit-chatting, saying one thing, but you be thinking something else, right? And the crazy thing is, I can read minds, y'all. So y'all sit there and y'all be like, oh yeah, this is pro-black. Yeah, we claiming these white people as black because we're so pro-black. That's the diversity of blackness, so and so and so, right? But that's not what you actually thinking. What you actually thinking is that you worship the image of white people, and that's why you're going so hard to pretend that white people are black, because that's what you wish blackness was. And that's why you'll turn around and pretend that I'm secretly African, because you hate what blackness actually looks like. You hate that black Americans actually look like me, right? So you're pretending I'm not black American, and you're pretending that some white ass kids are. Like, what? Y'all, like, come on now. Let's be so for real with ourselves, please. I say one thing about white people. They would never look at somebody who looks like me and pretend that that person is white. Clearly, I'm not white. You would never catch white people sitting around talking about, oh yeah, flower tower, that's the diversity of whiteness. Yeah, those big lips and that wide nose, that's white people's diversity of phenotype. Clearly, I'm not white. Like, quite clearly, anybody can look at me and tell that I don't have a white phenotype, right? But y'all will look at a literal white person, like just got done eating casserole, and y'all will be talking about, yeah, that's a black person. Well, it's society. The police put them over. That doesn't determine blackness. And honestly, I'm tired of you all reducing blackness to some dumbass shit. Oh, well, if the police put them over, well, white people said they black. Who give a fuck what they said? The fuck, like, and why do you let white people have that amount of power over you? You sitting here talking about this person is black because white people said they black. Are you fucking dumb? Are you dumb? Right now, this is my thing. We could have an actual conversation about the depths of anti-blackness, right? How white people will literally hate somebody who's not even black, right? And pretend that they are, even though they're not, right? We could have an actual conversation. Let's look at these kids, right? White people will sit there, as white as these kids are, and not claim these kids as white. Now, this is my thing. To be fair, these kids have a black parent and a white parent, so they're biracial. No matter how white they look. But this is the actual truth, though, right? Let's pretend these kids have kids with white people, and then their kids have kids with white people. Their kids have kids with white people. At that point, them kids is white, okay? White people will still say, "Oh no, you're not white. You're you know, whatever, some term, octoroon, bababoom, whatever, you know, because you have this 1% of black blood in you, right? Clearly, this person is white, but white people will go to such lengths to pretend that they are not and pretend that they're black, and that says a lot about how deeply white people hate black people. So instead of us sitting here and pretending that these white people are black, how about we have the actual conversation? In fact, let me tell you something my sister said. Okay, we was at my parents' house and we were driving somewhere, right? And I saw a little squirrel, okay? And I didn't know that Michigan is very rare in the fact that we have black squirrels. I thought everybody had black squirrels, but one time I posted a video of one and everybody was like, "What is that squirrel black, right?" So I saw a little black squirrel and I was like, "Oh, look at that cute little black squirrel. Like, he's so cute, right?" And my sister said, black pets get adopted the least, which is true. Yeah, you know, like black cats are considered bad luck, you know, for example, and just black pets as a whole get adopted the least. And I said, it is so crazy that white people hate black people so much that it transcends like species. They just hate blackness, period. They hate black pets because they're black. Like, quite literally, isn't that insane? And instead of us pretending, "Oh, well, yeah, this white cat is black technically cause you know, white people won't adopt it." How about we talk about how deeply white people hate blackness to the point where they literally hate black animals? Like, what? You know what the wildest part of this whole shebang is, in my opinion, right? To me personally, it's not the fact that these people will attempt to step into blackness. That doesn't surprise me because, look, if I was them, y'all, I would step into blackness too and get me some black scholarships and some reparations and stuff and be laughing all the way to the bank. Right? Like, come on now, y'all are easy to play. I would play y'all too. I cannot fault these people for that. Absolutely not, right? What the craziest part of it all is to me is the fact that black people are willing participants in this, right? Because by and large, black people hype this up. Very rarely do you come across a black person who's like, "Yeah, you're not black. Like, take a step back. Let's put up some boundaries," right? No, by and large, black people encourage this nonsense. That's the wildest part of it to me. And I guess it shouldn't be that surprising because, I mean, we've gone through 400 years of psychological torture in this country. White people have demonized everything about us. So it's really not surprising that black people worship the image of whiteness to the point where they will pretend that literal white people are black. But it's definitely sad.